For Apple, user privacy is a unique selling point. In the past year, they made it very hard for online advertisers to harvest precious user data. Now, Apple is set to grow its own ad business. What? Are they breaking their own standards now? Will iPhone users be spammed with ads soon? In 2021, Apple created an overall revenue of more than $365 billion. Most of that money came from selling devices, with the iPhone being responsible for more than half. It is estimated that Apple only made $4 billion by displaying ads. But this doesn't mean Apple is a small player in the online advertising market. On the contrary. In April 2021, they shook up the entire market by implementing a new feature called App Tracking Transparency to their iOS. ATT actively asks iPhone users if they want to allow apps to track their behavior across other apps. People are mostly lazy when it comes to app settings and things like deactivating tracking. And it doesn't matter if it's an Android or an Apple device. So it had been rather easy for advertisers to track where people shop, what they shop for, the games they play, the sports and hobbies they read about, and more. But with ATT actively asking iOS users about their choices, the majority opted out. Advertisers lost precious data, which made targeted advertising nearly impossible for them. Take Facebook/Meta, for example. Zuckerberg's company expects to lose around $10 billion in 2022 as a consequence of ATT. Now, Apple is set to bring more ads to their devices. Most likely they will appear on the currently ads-free Maps app, where businesses could pay for increased visibility, or podcasts and books, where publishers could place ads in certain areas within the apps. Why do they do it now? By limiting access to user data for third parties, Apple has a huge advantage. They already know a lot about their users, for example from the information given in their Apple ID, like age and gender, or what device they are using. And if they use Apple Music or Apple TV+, the company will also know what topics they're interested in, what music, books or movies they like, and what subscriptions they might have. The online advertising market is still growing, so Apple's move makes sense financially, but is their reputation at risk? Apple has been very good at making its privacy rules a unique selling point, in parts justifying the high prices of their devices. On their privacy page, they go as far as saying, privacy is a fundamental human right. At Apple, it's also one of our core values. What you share and who you share it with should be up to you. To be fair, Apple applies the ATT rules to its own apps. The App Store app, for example, only shares information in the moment you're looking for something, but erases this data afterwards. And judging from what ads look like on the App Store and on Apple News at the moment, it's rather unlikely they will appear very intrusive. The chance of Apple users being spammed with ads is pretty low. After all, Apple labels itself as a premium product. It could risk its brand reputation if ads take away from the user experience too much. But even if Apple's new ad strategy won't change that much for iPhone owners, Apple's data privacy promise doesn't sound especially convincing to me anymore. If they want to sell more ads, they have to use user data. It's as simple as that. Making it harder for others to gather user data in their ecosystem is one thing, but this doesn't faze Apple because they already have enough of our data. I would call that double standards. What about you? Let me know.